Amiibo Nuzlocke. Here are the rules. I will battle every Smash Ultimate Amiibo that I have, starting with my worst one and working my way all the way up to what I deem is my best one. I can then use every character on the roster, and once I lose with any character, once they lose a single time, they are no longer usable for the rest of this challenge. Now, I'm also able to use every single item, but only a single time use per item, no matter if I win with the item or if I lose with the item. That's enough of the rules, let's get to the action. Alright, let's do this recap time. Here's what happened last episode. For the character side of things, I ended up losing Banjo, Dark Pit, Ike, and Wolf. Some big losses there on my end, but hopefully we can bounce back strong. As for the items that I used up that I can no longer use, they now include the Banana Gun, the Green Shell, and the Super Scope. Let's get to this week's action. Next chapter in the Amiibo Nuzlocke has Greninja staring me down, and he comes equipped with the Insta-Drop Spirit, making this match very tricky. But I will be using a new item in the form of the Smart Bomb to hopefully defeat Naruto in this battle. Now, as I'm playing Ganon here, I needed to unlock his full potential, so here's a forward sword. Naruto did answer back quite aggressively though, because he ended up chasing me off stage and hit me with this, forward air. A bit later on, I picked up my new item and I threw it, only for it to be a dud. So I picked it up and tried once more. This time it helped out, but not as much as my perfectly timed down air helped me. Alright, now after getting knocked off stage and having to recover very low because this ninja would strike me down if I managed to not sneak past him, but I was able to do that, and then I eventually caught him in one final down air, cementing my first victory. My back! Alright, Rosalina is the next Amiibo I have to face, and I've always said that I feel like the Rosalina Amiibo is severely slept on because she is fantastic. So after looking over some of my items on my list of items that I can use, I realized I still have plenty of items to use. So it's time for me in the next several matches to start using quite a few of these items. So in this match, I chose the Freezy. I always called him Mr. Freezy, but apparently it's just Freezy. Anyway, Rosalina may come from another galaxy, but I wasn't sure if she ever saw Ganondorf's sword up close and personal, so I had to introduce her to it. Then she took the liberty of introducing me to her incredible forward air. But because I am Ganondorf, I still have another sword. Now, in the final moments, I was starting to get off some pretty good attacks here, and I eventually knocked Rosalina off stage. I went for a down air, but was nowhere near my target, and turned a possible win into this very depressing loss. So, Ganondorf's gone. The mighty Dragon Quest hero has been selected. It's his turn to save the world from the evil Rosalina, I guess. Anyway, it started off very even as I took her first stock, but then she pretty much wasted no time in response, and, she returned the favor. Now, as playing as hero, I was hoping to maybe hit one or two of them critical hit smash attacks, which I was able to do, but the first one was on Luma, so, okay, thanks. But a few seconds later, I also did hit one on Rosalina, dropping her to her final remaining stock. And then before I knew it, both Rosalina and Luma, they ended up double teaming me, and not in the fun way. So I guess Hero's quest has come to an end. Alright, third time's the charm. I'm hoping, because I choose you, Incineroar. Let's go get this, buddy. I gotta get this win. I gotta stop losing characters. They're dropping like flies now. But I did kind of forget how good Incineroar is against Amiibo. Like any Amiibo, he's just fantastic. So before I knew it, I actually had taken like the first two stocks from this otherworldly princess. Alright, things are looking pretty good, but she was able to make things kind of interesting when she knocked me down to my final Pokemon in this gym battle. And if I want my gym badge, I needed somebody to step up. Luckily, Incineroar was the Mon to get the job done because he had the type advantage against the Galaxy type. New challenger and another new item for me to use. This time I'm choosing the not so sweet beehive item. And it appears that we have an all-out Pokemon Rumble on our hands as Pikachu is my new opponent. So I ended up catching Pikachu kind of early on with what I'm calling a pretty serious down air. And well, it got the job done, so it must have been serious. Next up, the Beehive did come into play here, which I was very grateful for because, well, it kind of kept Pikachu distracted and kind of, you know, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The Beehive was working overtime here. So I was able to land a few good shots before somehow dodging Pikachu's forward smash by using my own down smash. So I guess the timing from Pikachu's Thunder Jolt going outwards and Incineroar jumping into the air to come slamming down, I somehow avoided it, I hit Pikachu, and I took the stock. But in the latter portion of the match, Pikachu tried relying a little bit too much on the electricity of its own power, and then of course the stings from the Beehive. Well, I was able to muster out this big blow, which indeed was super effective. Alright, next up is Shulk, and I'll be honest, this match really wasn't much of a challenge. I was able to handle Shulk pretty easily, so this gave Incineroar his third straight victory, except this one actually doesn't count. I was able to catch this. Why I'm not counting this win is because I didn't take the Beehive item off from the previous match, so this win is invalid, meaning I have to go defeat the Shirtless Wonder once again. So in our rematch, I was thinking to myself the entire match, I'm like, I better not end up losing here, otherwise I'm going to be really irked. Like, I'm going to be maybe pissed, right? Like, I just defeated him, but I caught him. I had to follow my own rules, you know, rules are in place for a reason. So I was just thinking I better not lose this because, well, I don't want to lose. I've already defeated him. But in the end, the match came down to the wire. Both of us had one final stock left, and Shulk having the damage lead at one point, I did think that Incineroar Amiibo might be done for, but I was able to land in a Alolan Whip on Shulk, and I sent him right back to the loser column. Oh, look at that. Time for another opponent and another new item for me to use, and I do promise to turn off the item after this match concludes, but the item I ended up choosing is the Bomb Shoe. Now, as for my opponent, Bowser Jr., or Lemmy in this case, he does have the Insta-Drop Spirit. You can't really be ready for Insta-Drop, so sometimes you need a little bit of luck, like Lemmy using Insta-Drop right off the ledge and giving you the early stock lead.
Bloody bonkers.
Alright, that was pretty funny, but if Insta-Dropping off of a ledge for the first stock wasn't funny enough, Lemmy ended up going with a side special on stage, and then he just kind of kept going. He forgot to hop out of the car, he forgot to hit the brakes or something, but he went straight off stage and down to one final stock, so this match is going to be easy. Now, I was hoping for one more sort of whoopsie. Let's get the trifecta here from Lemmy, but the only whoopsie that I guess Lemmy ended up having was being in the range of Incineroar's forward tilt. Alright, nice. With 5, but only 4 of them count, but with 5 wins in a row, Incineroar is colliding here with Diddly Kong. Now, I've always loved the Diddy Kong Amiibo because he hits hard, he hits fast, he hits multiple times, and he even knows when to footstool properly. Now, I don't think Diddy Kong was expecting to come across me and Incineroar today, because I was able to even things up shortly after he took my first stock with a down smash, but it got even better for me because shortly after that, I followed it up by chasing him off stage with a weak looking down air, but it was enough to get Diddy Kong down to his final stock and giving me the brief lead, and my confidence is rising. Now, with all the confidence that I've built up over the last several matches with all these wins, I could finally see the goal tape of this match in my sights. It was right there, it was within reaching distance. And just when I thought I was gonna cross that goal line, cross that goal tape, I realized the goal tape actually said loser. And, well, why is that? Because Diddy Kong decided to go banana mode on me, and he ended up stopping this Incineroar train dead in its tracks. Hey, look at that. Here comes the first and only appearance of King K. Rool in this video. And, well, there might be a reason for that, or maybe there's not a reason for it. Either way, the main reason I'm using King K. Rool, at least in this match against Diddy Kong, is because at the time of recording, Donkey Kong Bonanza is right around the corner, so I kind of wanted to get in the spirit of things. I'm very excited for the game, and, well, for this match, I'm using another item. This time it's going to be the Steel Diver item. Yeah, I know, that's not really Donkey Kong themed, but it's still an item nonetheless. Alright, well, anyways, Diddy Kong wanted to show off his up special skills, so he kind of used it, crashed right in front of me, and, well, I got the early stock lead. Next up, I was able to show off my gigantic bulge. I meant my stomach, you sickos. But I guess Diddy wasn't amused either, because, well, he struck back pretty quickly. But finally, I did finish this game off with a flurry of Steel Diver shots, and, well, it was enough for me to get the victory. Oh, look! Here's something we've done quite a bit. New opponent, new character, and another new item that I'm using. This time, it's going to be the Launch Star item. I'm pretty excited for this one, because I think there could be some real fun shenanigans with it. But the first Launch Star action came after I threw it. Inkling decided to, well, try it out. And I was like, wait, that kind of looks like fun. I want to get on this ride. So I tried it, but I failed. So I'm just going to give it a 0 out of 10, and I'm never going on this ride ever again. Inkling was then able to nab the second Launch Star of the match, but this time I did make proper use of the item because I sent Inkling through it, and, well, Inkling went soaring, giving me the stock. Now as the unofficial clock ticked down on this match with both challengers in the red in one-shot range, Inkling forward threw my big butt, but just barely missed hitting an game-ending down air on me, so I was able to recover, and then I hit my own forward smash, properly ending this game with my victory. Next up is the greatest named Luigi Amiibo in history. Don't let anyone tell you different, because, well, that's about as good as this match got, was his name, because I'm just going to be honest, this match wasn't too eventful at all. It was just one of those simple stock traders, you know, you take my stock, I'll take your stock. But, you know, eventually I did get the low ground in this case, and I kind of juggled Luigi with some up smashes, and eventually up airs before taking the victory. Captain Douglas J. Falcon zooms in to battle, and he must have remembered my poor performance as Falcon earlier in this series, because he wanted to show me up big time by obliterating all 3 of my stocks in this match. And honestly, it felt like Byleth was kind of using like a pool noodle to attack with. Like, none of my attacks were hitting hard at all. Plus, I'm still kind of feeling that final throw from him. Alright, I'm going to be switching over to Roy here, because he is our boy after all, right? Except maybe he's not boys with Captain Falcon, because Falcon once again dominated me in this match. And just like the last one, I could do nothing, right? I think this old Rocket League clip of me sums up things perfectly.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Okay, 3rd time's the charm. Please, please. We're moving over to Big Man Ridley as my character. And, well, he did start off a little bit better than the first 2 in this match against Falcon, because he smashed out the first KO. But Falcon was able to answer pretty quickly. Captain Falcon then wanted to put his foot in my mouth for some reason, and I guess Ridley does not like the taste of defeat because, well, I lost another stock. I ain't losing 3 characters in a row to 1 character, right? I'm not losing 3 characters to Captain Falcon. Instead, I decided to eat a down air. Oh, good, more feet. And then another Falcon kick. Oh, good, more feet. But at the end of the day, Ridley lost basically due to Captain Falcon's feet.